there's a movie company that was from the East Coast, I believe in New Jersey, called Troma. When I was a kid, they always had like punk rock songs in the soundtrack, and it just kind of spoke to me at the time. And I met the guy who runs it, Lloyd Kaufman, and I was like, "What would it take to get my script in a movie for you?" And he's like, "Well, what's the name of your script?" And I'm like, I'm making it up. I had no script. I was like, Invasion of the Punk Rockers. Who drink blood?
Hello, Steven. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me.
Beautiful, and thank you so very much for being here, my man. I truly appreciate you. And you say, Steven, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So firstly, Steven, I want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invest that in yourself. And oftentimes, my man, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You see, some couple of months back, Steven, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, Steven, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I used the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Steven, just recently I was on that same road, and this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree. You see, the mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance, and immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did, and it wowed me because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it, beautiful green leaves and healthy branches, and not just mangoes now, Steven. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day, and I was so, so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing Steven that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show, because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, your philosophies, your insight, the impact your work is having. And now you are offering your solutions, Steven. The stores are beautiful. And just before I sent you that request, my man, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Steven is doing. And not only me now, because I don't want to be selfish, and even with the audience. And here we are today with the amazing Steven. So thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, man.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you reaching out.
Beautiful.
And I love the mango tree story.
Thanks so much, man. So let's get started, Steven. You see, I am quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of a beautiful one, Steven, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge alone, but the application of it. And you see, my man, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the incredible Steven on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, Steven, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, Steven, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, my man, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Stephen got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Steven, over to you.
All right. Well, I am Steven Boehm. Many people know me as Steve Sxaks on the professional level. I've been a touring musician for 20 years. I am the co-founder of Marsten House Recording Studio in Philadelphia. I am a Army veteran. I'm a nonprofit teacher. I teach at various high schools and nonprofits. We do a lot of nonprofit work through the studio, trying to help kids learn how to make music and just learn how to express themselves and give them the tools on how to succeed in this industry. I'm a voting member of the Grammys, so the Philadelphia chapter of the Recording Academy. Um, there's so much. I'm trying to give you the quick version, so we don't eat the whole time on my on my intro here. But yeah, now I also am a father and a husband, so that's a pretty big part of my journey these days. But still, just making music, making art. I just published my first novel, "The Invasion of the Punk Rockers Who Drink Blood." It's a 400-page novel about kids forming their own community and dealing with real world monsters and actual monsters. And yeah, so that's now I'm kind of on the book tour for that. So I'm going to libraries and talking to kids and a bunch of people have been coming to me and telling me that the book's getting their kids interested in music, and it's an amazing feeling. So yeah, that's pretty much the quickest me in a that I can give.
I tell you, not so beautiful. Steven is a lot of beautiful things. That's a great word. So you mentioned that you are a musician. All right. So I wanted to ask,
Yes.
how did your journey in music begin?
Well, I knew that I wanted to be an entertainer in some way, like since I was a little kid, because I was always just the class clown. I was always trying to make people laugh or smile or, just get attention. I like attention. So once I discovered music, it just felt like the best fit. It fit like a glove. Even when I was terrible at it, nothing felt better than getting on stage and just in front of as many people as possible and expressing myself, especially in punk rock bands, just dressing up, with the pink mohawk and the vest with the studs and the patches on it, and just making some noise in front of people and just I don't know. There's something about like community that just really is important to me. So there's nothing like the music community, it's just people listening to music, even when it's not the best or when it's the best, and just relating to it and dancing and singing and just having a good time. Like that's just a big part of who I am. And I make community a foundation of pretty much everything that I do, from the music to the military to parenthood to the book. I just think community is just so important.
Very, very important. And I love the fact that you coupled your solutions and the beautiful stuffs that you coupled them into that beautiful material. And you've got a great title right there. How did you come about the title of your book, for your book?
So the title of the book, there's a movie company that was from the East Coast, I believe in New Jersey, called Troma when I was a kid, and they made really just like B movies, very crass, like low budget. But growing up in that area, they were kind of just like a part of my teenage life. Especially being into punk rock, they always had like punk rock songs in the soundtrack, and it just kind of spoke to me at the time. And I met the guy who runs it, Lloyd Kaufman, and I was like, what would it take to get my script in a movie for you? And he's like, well, what's the name of your script? And I'm like, I'm making it up. I had no script. I was like, Invasion of the Punk Rockers Who Drink Blood, the musical. And he's just like, he knew I was full of it, and he's just said, well, look, if you really have a script, get in touch with me and we'll see what we could do. So, I went home and I just start typing away. This was 20 years ago. I was like a 15-year-old kid. And it was a terrible, terrible script. And I never finished it, but I always loved the title. So throughout the years, I'd kind of go back and touch on it. And then finally, I just found the time to sit and knock it out. So it was 20 years in the making, but the title stuck with me the whole time.
I tell you, and I got that. So, how did serving in the army influence your outlook on life?
It changed a lot because, when I was like a young punk rock kid, I didn't have the most fond image of what the army was, especially just government in general. Punk rock lyrics are very much about not trusting the government. And no matter where you're from, that, it's kind of us versus them, the government versus the people. And while I still definitely feel that way, especially these days, going into the army, it showed me that most people are there. They're trying to get health insurance. They're trying to get citizenship. They're trying to pay, for their car notes. They're trying to pay for college. They're just trying to do better for their family. And it's really not like just this weird. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So it really just, I felt very connected with a lot of the people there. And I found out that I had so much in common with so many people. There was kids from China trying to get their citizenship. There was kids from literally every continent on the earth. And I'm 20 years old at the time, and I'm meeting people from countries I've never been to. And just, we had so much in common. And it really just makes you realize like every human on earth just has a ton in common, more than you'd ever think. If you like fishing, there's a chance that a kid from Japan loves to fish too. Or if you like video games, the kid from Mexico likes video games too. So it's just we segregate ourselves with these like arbitrary walls of nationalism, and don't open ourselves up to just all these great, wonderful people and cultures that are around the world. And I already, as a touring musician before the army, I had been to Mexico, I've been to Canada, I've been to Europe, and I've been to Jamaica, and I've been around. So it wasn't super new to me to experience other cultures, but still just being thrown in. It's a little different going on tour and meeting people like on their terms, but when everybody from all over the place is getting thrown in a chair, getting your head shaved, having to do weapons training, and go through this traumatic experience together, and you really just see what people's characters are. And so it was just like a great I obviously I know not everybody can do it, but if you're qualified to do it, I think it'll change your life and your opinions in a lot of ways. So I definitely recommend doing it, whether you're like I've never been like this giant patriot kind of guy. It was just, it was a spur of the moment decision. My friend was joining. I said, I'm joining too. And we went and did it. And, like I said, I already had a career going on. I already had the studio. I'd already been touring pretty consistently, but I don't think I would have ever had the discipline to go as far as I did without that experience. And I probably still would have been ignorant in a lot of ways just from not having it.
Not having it. I got that. So, what does living at the crossroads of music, rebellion, and purpose mean to you?
Well, I think I lost you.
Okay, should I repeat it? Okay, let me repeat it. Should I repeat it?
Okay.
Okay,
so repeat it one more time. Sorry.
Yeah, so I said, what does living at the crossroads of music, rebellion, and purpose, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's just like with everything, it's about balance, right? The crossroads, down to the very sense of it, or if you're thinking about even the movie Crossroads, where you're meeting the devil and trying to get sell your soul to play guitar, whatever being at the crossroads means. It's about the balance, and you can cross the street one way and become unbalanced, or you can continue walk in the path and keep that balance. So that's kind of what it means to me, is just always maintaining the balance of questioning things, doing the right thing, and being true to yourself.
Being true to yourself, doing the right things, and questioning things. I got that. So we have two more to go, okay? So, what message do you want readers to take away from your wonderful book?
I want people who, and I feel like everyone has, like, again, the book is about these kids that deal with things that every kid on earth deals with. You as a kid, you're growing up and you're trying to find your place in the world. You're dealing with your hormones. You're dealing with bullying. You're dealing with sexism, racism, homophobia. You're dealing with not feeling like you fit in with any particular group, not thinking that grown-ups understand you, not understanding why laws are in place. All this stuff that kids just have to navigate on their own. So when you're reading this, I want people to step, if you're an adult reading it, I want people to step into the mind of a teenager and kind of feel some empathy for what they're feeling. But if you're a kid reading this, like, understand that there is these communities out there that you can find, and there is a family that's not blood, that's your found family that can help you get through these things. And then when throughout the book, the serious trauma kicks up into high gear, and these kids have to deal with it together. And that's what it's about, is dealing with it with your community. So I just hope that people, when they read this, they don't just like take away the surface level message of a fearless vampire hunter novel, that they actually can dig into it and kind of get a sense of empathy and community from it.
Beautiful. They have to dig into it and get a sense of
Yeah.
empathy. Okay, that's a profound one. All right, so I wanted to ask, was writing fiction harder or easier than making music?
Oh man, I you know it it was hard, mainly because of the circumstance around, because the kids, I have two kids and they're both 5 and under, so it was long nights. I really didn't start doing it till midnight. I'd go till 4 a.m. and then I'm waking up with the kids again at 7 or 8, so it was tiring. So I think that's what made it difficult. But I feel like I've always just had these stories in my head, so it's kind of like with music, like once you sit down and you get the freedom to go, it just kind of pours out. So I would just sit there and let it pour out of me, and whatever came. And then the hardest part, honestly, was navigating all the extra stuff that was different than music. I'm so used to doing, going through distributors and record labels, but navigating, a publicist and getting a copy editor and a developmental editor and advanced readers and formatters, and that learning curve made it probably more difficult than music. But I don't know, it's still very enjoyable. So I mean, I plan on doing a few more of them in the series. So I'd say they're both hard in their own way.
And that's so inspiring. Why? Because it was hard, it was tiring, but you did it anyway. You did it still, and that's amazing. So finally, my man, what advice would you give to someone who is chasing purpose through heart?
I mean, I would say, never compromise who you are. That's probably the biggest thing, is just don't compromise who you are. There's going to be plenty of people who are not going to support your vision, whether it's, your parents or whoever, your boss, whatever, whoever. Do it and see the project through, because even if it doesn't do anything else, you will feel a weight come off of your shoulders and come off of your chest, and of just this accomplishment of getting it done. And then once you get the one project done, it's so much easier to move on to the next project and keep going. So just never compromise and just push through it, no matter how hard it gets.
Beautiful words. Never compromise, and you've got to push through it, no matter how hard it gets. That's a beautiful word, and I'm gonna take that as a final thought. So that's gonna be the end of the show, Steven. For folks who like to reach out to you, learn more about the beautiful stuff you're doing, or make a purchase of your wonderful book, how can that be possible?
Yeah, you can find me. You can either go to letsgoguy.com, which is letsgoguy.com, stevesxaks.com. You could buy the book at stevesxaksstore.com, Or you can just go to Amazon and put in Invasion of the Punk Rockers Who Drink Blood. It pops right up. Or reach me on any social media. I will literally talk to anybody. I'll talk as long as you want. So at Steve Sxaks on everything.
All right, beautiful. So that's going to be the end of the show, Stephen. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing
Thank
this
you.
wonderful stuff with us. It means a whole lot, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it.